So let's just say this is the farm with many possibilities. Let's dig into the map and take a look at what all's out there. Here's the 1853 atlas with a 2018 aerial beside it. You'll see that there's 4 arrows on the 1853 atlas. There's 4 little squares by them. Those represent homes. Now on the 2018 aerial photo, I've superimposed some yellow squares and arrows as well to kind of show you all where I believe that they were at. Now there's one house that's up to the north a little bit with a thin square around it. That's not on this property, so we won't be talking about that one any. So now that we know we have 4 home sites that show up on an 1853 atlas, move over to the vacated 1854 map. This map shows highway right-of-ways where they were in use and dedicated widths and things like that. Well, there's a road that you can see that comes down like this and then goes south again, which is highlighted in orange. Now that road was vacated in 1854. So that road disappeared, and as you can see in the 2018 aerial photo, it's gone, completely gone. But there's 3 shots at finding 3 houses along that road, which is super cool. Now, something that kind of comes in is this 1908 atlas. The 1908 atlas not only shows 2 houses on the south side of the road, but it also shows an additional one that pops up in 1908 and on the north side of the road. Now I know that the one that pops up in 1908 did not show any houses in 1873 right there. So there was a period there where there wasn't a house, and then it was built before 1908, which shows up on the 1908 atlas. I know from the landowners that that newer house that was built, 1908 or just prior, has lived its life, and it was torn down about 5 years ago. So what we have here is a ton of data and a lot of home sites, and they're all going to be a search to figure out who these families were and what they left behind. So we have to get out and discover them. Let's put away the maps and get out to the field.
So now that we're out in the field, I'm just going to use my aerial photo. I'm going to line up with the house that's to the north that wasn't part of our discussion, the one with the thin square around it, and then place myself just by a couple of the farming patterns, the barn that we've seen, and just kind of, it's a good guess. So I'm thinking the road kind of bent right here and headed up towards that house up there. Now, this is pretty good alignment. It's a rise in the ground right here, so it'd make a good place to put a road. Now I'm starting back here in the back on the 1853 homes. I know we have an 1908 house up there to hunt, but I want to get onto some of this older stuff before the farming really just breaks loose this spring, and because we can always easily know where the house is up there. Now today we're going to be using the V3i with the 13-inch D-Tech coil on, and we will be running in coin and jewelry, and then maybe switch to high pro afterwards after a little bit of hunting. So I'm going to get this thing set up, and then we're going to get looking around, just see what we can find to help locate where this house may have been back in 1853.
Now with coin and jewelry selected, I'm going to enter into expert menu. Discrimination, I got visual reject, bottle cap reject off, hot rock off, VDI select by. I'm rejecting from +4 down to -95. I'm accepting from +5 all the way up to +93, because +94 and 95 are always iron for me. That kind of rhymed. Sensitivity, since I'm in the middle of the field, RX gain 13, discrimination sensitivity 92, all metal 71. Audio for now is mixed mode, so I can hear the all metal channel and discriminate channels until I actually find the home site. I want to hear both channels so I can know all the metal in this field. 7.5 band pass, recovery delay 50, and that's pretty much it. Get ground balanced and get going.
Now this is the discovery phase. I'm looking for the house. I'm actually got my eyes on the ground looking for pottery and brick and things like that, and only listening to the sound of the machine because I'm running all metal as well as discriminate channel. I'm just trying to see any evidence of where this place is at. This could take a little bit, so I'm just going to keep on walking through. Big swings. I'm not trying to cover every inch, just trying to get a grasp on what's happening out here. Now remember, the houses I'm looking for did not show up on the 1873 atlas, so they disappeared before that. So they were built way before 1853 and fell down somewhere between 1853 and 1873. So it may be a hard search, but we'll keep looking. Well, it's been about maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. My bag is right about there at the end of my finger, and that's probably 300 yards from me. And at that point, I was like, the bend in the road's right here, right? Nah, it's way down here. Now this just takes time to find stuff and then place these houses. Take a look at these.
So I ended up finding this thing here. It's pretty pretty different. I'm not sure what that went to. But I also found this here, which is a piece of an old horseshoe. That's a real thin one, small one. And then I found this great big square nail, hand forged deal. This really old, decayed away piece of brick. And then I just now found this piece of pottery. And that is all really good signs. So we're getting into some iron using that all metal channel. And just found this laying on top. Now, in this spot, I just found this old piece of crockery. I just walked up here and I decided to start showing you all what I'm finding because I'm now getting good evidence. So this old piece of crockery here, that's a really good sign. So we'll just keep on looking and see if anything comes out into the ground anymore to show us that a house was here. But I'm pretty sure we're really, really close. All right, I think this is gonna be our first personal item here. Really good hit, 61, 64. Size of it's just perfect for something cool. We got 6.5 inches, 64, 60. Here we go. I found this really cool piece of blue and white right here sitting on the ground before I actually started the video, but that's pretty awesome. It's a 47-49. I see it. It's right here. It's round, but I don't think it's a coin. Doesn't really matter to me, but it's a I think a button. That's odd. Let me clean on it and then we'll take a look at it together. What we have here is an actual button. Now this button kind of has me a little confused because the edges are very different than that of what I typically find. It has a domed piece to it. It looks like it had some kind of texture on it at one point in time that's not actual corrosion, not talking about that stuff in the middle. It's thinner, it's made out of a different type of metal. And on the back you can see where the shank was on there. And it says something warranted, which would be across the top there. And then I can't see anything. It says CH and then something else. So that's a very different button. I have to try to research that one. You may not fully hear it in my voice, but man, I'm excited. I just found this home site. We have a target right here. 6.5 inches. Kind of all over. It's fine with me. Let's dig it. It's right there. 56 and 60. Okay. I have whatever it is here in my hand. It is definitely another cool one. We have some dirt here. Let's start peeling it away. Could just be a button. Looks like a button. You can see that shank's been flipped over some. Now this is more like what I usually find button-wise. These are actually baseball batting gloves, to let you know the truth. You know, obviously I like the blue, but having this leather up here, I could just put the coin here instead of on my jeans because it's leather and it does the same thing. So I can stay up here by the camera. Works really well. So yeah, got a cool flat button. This one's thin and not like the last one, but still, it's an awesome find. Next target's way down in there, 10 inches. Doesn't hit perfect. So let's get some dirt off there and see how it sounds then. There's something right here. The stuff in the hole's iron, but there's a little signal right here. I don't know what it is. It still could be iron. It's in this. Let's just see what it is. It sounded like it was down in a 5 or 10, so it's probably a piece of iron or that little bullet right there. That's what that is. It's either buckshot. Yeah, it's regular old buckshot. Got a flat end on the back. I've found them just like this other places, so they're pretty old, all white coated like that. All right, let's keep moving. Here's our next target. It's 6 1/4, and it's not much of one, but if I rotate around on it, it gives me some negatives and up in the teens, so maybe there's a piece of iron down there with it. Thinking maybe it's a button. All kinds of stuff. Let's check this out first. I think this is our signal. Oh, yep, look at there. It's definitely a button. It's not as corroded. It's made out of something different. It may even be silver, to tell you the truth. Oh, wow, look at that. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, let me clean on that. Yes, a flat button with something on it. Actually, I can clean it. Well, let me clean it with the fluid. I don't know what's going on. I'm too excited. Gosh, I'm glad I dug that. So for all our button pros that know more than I do, there's the shank. That is very different than what I'm used to finding. And the metal's very different than what I'm used to finding. And there's no writing on the back. And here's the design on the front. Now, I'm not really sure what that is. I'm gonna go with somebody's eye or something that they were skilled enough in order to engrave in there. So yeah, that's definitely hand done, handmade. Very, very cool to me. That is ultimately awesome. So man, that's incredible. I'm very glad that I dug that very odd sounding, not so great signal. Next target's right there at 8 1/4. It's pretty deep. There's some green and there's some red. So let's see what it is. Something right there that's pretty interesting.
It's a low signal, but that's fine. Here we go.
It looks like another one of those buttons, to tell you the truth, but it might be broke just because of the low reading. It is. It's another one. Awesome. All right, let me clean it off. All right, here's the second one. The old, I'm gonna call it the eyeball button, but it's super cool. That's got to be a symbol for something. All right, let's keep looking.
Uh-oh. It's right there, whatever it is. Sounds pretty nice. Let's take a look at it together.
Just a smooth 75, 76. It's in there. Oh, look at that. What do you think that is? Could just be a washer, but it sure sounds like a coin. It's a something. Here's our find. It's not a coin. It has some kind of indentation right in this area, and then it's kind of concave in the back, just a hair. You can see it there. And then on the outside, it's, you know, got two different levels. It's definitely decorative. I don't know what that would have been. It could have been like the bezel that went against like a pull, you know, and then the pull would have went through here and then screwed into the wood on a drawer on like a piece of furniture. But either way, super cool. Let's keep looking. I'm sure maybe some coin will show up today, but even if it doesn't, the buttons are super awesome. All right, keep moving. It's right there at 5 1/2. It's a low one. 20, 12.
There it is. Right there.
Here's our button so far. At least I believe it's a button. It's pretty bent up from what I can tell right now. It's another thin, flat button. The shank is bent down in the back, kind of beat up some. Just plain. So yeah, there's another button. So we're definitely in an awesome spot right here. I'm working it nice and slow, so hopefully we'll turn out with some more stuff.
Well, I'm gonna take a break for a little bit, get something to drink and eat. The reason why I really wanted to start on this house first is because as that road comes down and turns south, I now know where this house is and approximately where that road turns south. So if I turn south from about this point, I know where those two other houses are at on the north side of the road. So I see two little humps out there, at least one nice crest. It'll point me right into where I need to be. So I'm probably gonna stay here for the rest of the day. You know, I can hunt this site 10 times and still find stuff, and they're gonna plow it and it'll always churn stuff up. So we'll come back here in other years as long as we still have permission. I'm gonna hush up, get something to eat and drink, and then get back to it. Nothing like 5-star restaurant leftovers in the middle of a cornfield.
Got another low one right here. It's right there at 3 inches.
Big old button.
Got another big flat button. Doesn't appear to be anything on it. Let me clean it a little bit more. Oh, yeah, there is. See it around the edges there? Hold on, let me get it on my hand. See the extra little decoration. I'll clean it up a little bit more when I get to the house, see if there's some more decoration on it, but that's pretty cool. They got buttons here with designs and stuff on them. Still has a shank.
Got a target there at 7 1/4. 69, 70, 56 there. Let's see what pops out of the ground. Right there, still says 6 1/2 for some reason. So there's the reading. Let's see what we get. What's this?
It's some sort of little thing. Looks somewhat like a rivet. Smaller end on one side, bigger on the other. Let me clean on it so we can take a look at it. Here it is all cleaned off. It's a little different. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's definitely cool. It's old, so let's keep on looking. Here's the next target. Let's just say this is a really good hit, and I'm somewhat excited. It's right there at 4 inches. 76, 76, 76. 72. And in here, inside that dirt. So try to bust some of it off. Might be a suspender clip all bent up. Let me clean it up. Here's what we have. It's made out of copper. Had 2 screws mounting it to something. One side got broke. You can see the iron right there, but I'm not sure what that is. Some kind of plate of some sort. Let's take this target here and let's head back up and look around that 1908 house, or just prior to 1908. 6 1/4 deep. Looks like another button. We'll get back out on this site with the MX Sport. Maybe the V3i with a smaller coil or something. It's in here, whatever it is. See what we have. Maybe a button. We're finding a lot of bullets. That's a bullet. All right. There's a bullet. So let's head up front and see what we can find there for just a little bit of time that we have left for today. Look, there's somebody out there metal detecting. He's on the other side of the truck right now, and I really don't know what to tell him, because I'm going to blow my cover on every site on this place. I guess we just go talk to him. Kind of hard to get out of this one. So here's how it went down. I met a new detectorist. He's got a Mine Lab 600, and it's really cool to see what he's finding. We're up here at the 1908 house, what I'm calling. He's metal detected this quite a bit. He's actually had some friends with him down here that had other machines that have metal detected this. So we're gonna hunt it for a little bit since I'm running out of time. I only have maybe 20 minutes to a half hour. He also has the same amount of time. But you can see him walking away back there. I told him where the site is that I just found. You know, he's had permission to hunt out here. He's actually been out in that field looking, just, trying to find what he could. Now, he's been doing this for about 2 years, I believe, just sharing the site. There's a lot to hunt out here, but I know for sure that the house sat right there, and right here, we're right in the front yard of a house that looks like it was an 1880, 1890 house. So let's just see what we can find with the time we have left. Well, the Mine Labs have been out here, and they have proven to be good machines. Because that's the only target I can come up with. 6 1/4, 75, 76, 79. I only had like 30 minutes, and I'm actually well beyond that right now. I need to get home. Well, that's a good sign. I'm still reading a 72. And the plug. A penny. All right. It's probably end up being a cent, most likely. And it is. It's a wheat cent. Let's see what year we got. 1 coin left. There is it's a 1951 wheat cent. Here's the back. So there, found a coin up here. Well, that's the end of our hunt. It's a pretty awesome day. Find them buttons and stuff. It's pretty cool. I like them hand engraved ones. I met somebody out here today with an Equinox. They've been hunting this site, and I found one little wheat cent. But I probably won't hunt this very much just because it's been hunted quite a bit. A good thing that happened today was discovering that home site back there, because now we know where that road is. And now since we know where the road is, we can kind of place the rest of these buildings that were out here during that time. I have some things coming up where I may not be able to metal detect and make videos on it for a couple weekends. So at least next weekend. Today was a good hunt. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, take care.